Welcome back to our channel. We hope you'll find valuable content here. If you enjoy our channel, please remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more. Let's dive in. Imagine you're sitting in a dark room with a handful of dice. You roll the dice, but until you turn on the light, you don't know the outcome. In a way, the dice are in every possible state they could land in. This is a bit like the early ideas of quantum physics, where particles exist in a state of all possible outcomes until we measure or observe them. Now, let's turn on the light and see how this concept can illuminate our business strategies. Quantum physics might seem like it belongs in a science lab, not a business school. But the principles behind it can offer us a fresh perspective on how we approach our lives and work. At its heart, quantum physics tells us that reality is not as fixed as it seems. It's full of possibilities and is influenced by our actions and observations. In the 1920s, scientists like Niels Bohr and Werner Heisenberg introduced the idea that particles exist in a kind of quantum fog of all possible states until we look at them. This might sound strange, but think about it in terms of business decisions. Before you make a decision, all outcomes are possible. The moment you choose, you observe one of those possibilities and make it real. Fast forward to 1957, and Hugh Everett III takes this idea further with his many worlds interpretation. He suggests that every possible outcome actually does happen, but in different branches of a vast multiverse. In business, this can be likened to scenario planning. We map out various paths our company could take: expansion, new products, downsizing, etc., and each decision leads us down a different path. What does all this have to do with running a company or advancing your career? It's all about where you put your attention. In quantum terms, observation affects reality. In business, where you focus your energy has a profound impact on what happens. If you're always looking out for problems, you'll likely find them. But if you focus on opportunities, you're more likely to spot them. The quantum law and the business mindset. In the realm of quantum physics, the behavior of particles at the smallest scale seems to defy the logic of the everyday world we live in. Particles can exist in a state of superposition, meaning they can be in multiple states at once until they are observed. This fundamental principle challenges our classical view of reality and offers a new lens through which to view the potential of our actions and decisions. Now, let's translate this into the business world. In business, just as in quantum physics, the act of observation, or in our case, decision-making, collapses all potential states, or strategies, into one reality. Before a decision is made, every strategy is a possibility, every market is a potential gold mine, and every innovation has the potential to be a game changer. It's the choices we make, the strategies we implement, and the ideas we pursue that solidify one of these potential states into our reality. Picture yourself in that dark room again, with the dice in your hand. Each roll could represent a different business decision or strategy. In the darkness, every roll is uncertain, and every possible outcome exists simultaneously. This is the superposition of possibilities. When you turn on the light, you're making a decision, and suddenly, the dice settle into a single state. This is akin to committing to a business strategy. Before the decision, every outcome was possible; after it, you're on a path that you've chosen based on the information at hand. In quantum physics, observation affects the observed. In business, the focus of a company's leadership can similarly influence the direction of the business. If a leader focuses on risks and limitations, the company is likely to be cautious and conservative. Conversely, if the focus is on innovation and growth, the company may take calculated risks that lead to expansion and success. Before a business decision is made, imagine that all possible strategies are laid out in front of you. Each one has its own set of outcomes and consequences, existing in a superposition of potential success and failure. The moment a decision is made, one strategy is chosen, and all others collapse. This chosen strategy now defines the path forward and the reality that the business will navigate. Everett's many worlds interpretation suggests that all possible outcomes are realized in some version of reality. In business, this can be seen in the parallel paths that companies might have taken. For instance, one decision leads to international expansion, while another leads to focusing on the domestic market. Each decision creates a different world for the company. Understanding these quantum concepts can empower business leaders to recognize the potential in every decision and the power they have to shape their company's reality. By acknowledging the superposition of possibilities, leaders can approach decision-making with a mindset that embraces uncertainty and focuses on shaping the desired outcome. Mastering the quantum law in business means recognizing the potential in every situation and understanding that our observations and decisions have the power to shape our reality. It's about seeing beyond the immediate and tangible, into a realm of possibilities where our focused attention and decisive action can bring about the reality we desire. Observation, attention, and business realities. In the quantum world, the act of observing an event can change the outcome. This phenomenon is known as the observer effect. It suggests that there is a fundamental interaction between the act of observation and the object being observed. In the business world, this translates to the idea that the focus of our attention can influence the outcome of events. Consider a team working on a project. If the project leader constantly checks on the team, expecting errors and issues, the team might become anxious and make more mistakes. However, if the leader's oversight is positive, providing guidance and confidence, the team's performance may improve. The leader's expectations and the way they observe can change the project's trajectory. Where we direct our attention is where we direct our energy. In business, if we focus on the risks and what could go wrong, we may unconsciously direct our actions towards negative outcomes. On the other hand, if we focus on opportunities and success, our actions are more likely to lead us there. Polar attention is charged with emotion and expectation, like hoping for a promotion or fearing a market downturn. It can attract or repel the outcomes we're focused on. Nonpolar attention is neutral and detached, it observes without emotional charge, which can be useful for making unbiased decisions. In a business context, where a company directs its attention can shape its market reality. For example, if a business focuses solely on cutting costs, it may miss opportunities for growth. Conversely, by paying attention to customer feedback and market trends, a business can adapt and thrive. To apply the quantum law in business, leaders must learn to manage their attention effectively. This involves being mindful of where they focus their thoughts and energy, and understanding the potential impact of their attention on the business's reality. Mastering the art of observation and attention is crucial for business leaders. By understanding and applying the principles of quantum physics, they can influence the manifestation of events and shape the reality of their business. Societal conditioning and business focus. Society often conditions us to prioritize survival, which can inadvertently lead to a focus on negative outcomes. This survival instinct can manifest in business as a preoccupation with avoiding failure rather than striving for success. The survival instinct is hardwired into our DNA. In the business context, this can translate into a defensive posture, where the primary goal is to avoid loss rather than to achieve gains. This can lead to a risk-averse culture that may stifle innovation and growth. When a business is overly focused on avoiding failure, it can create a self-fulfilling prophecy. Leaders may become so concerned with potential problems that they inadvertently steer the company towards them. This negative focus can attract more of what is feared, a concept that parallels the quantum idea that energy flows where attention goes. The key to overcoming this negative bias is to consciously shift focus. Instead of concentrating on what could go wrong, businesses need to look at what could go right. This shift can open up new possibilities for success and can be the catalyst for a more positive and proactive organizational culture. Leaders play a crucial role in this process. They set the tone for the entire organization. By modeling a focus on positive outcomes and demonstrating confidence in the face of uncertainty, leaders can inspire their teams to adopt a similar mindset. To move beyond the limitations imposed by societal conditioning, businesses must cultivate a culture of positivity and possibility. This involves recognizing the potential for success in every situation and understanding that by focusing on positive outcomes, the company is more likely to achieve them. The shift from a negative to a positive focus is not just about being optimistic, it's about recognizing and acting upon the quantum principle that our focus determines our reality. By redirecting attention from survival-based fears to growth-based aspirations, businesses can manifest a more successful and dynamic future. Personal anecdotes and the power of focus. Personal stories and experiences can be powerful in illustrating how a shift in focus can lead to significant changes in one's professional and personal life. These anecdotes serve as tangible evidence of the abstract concepts discussed in previous chapters. Personal anecdotes often reveal how individuals who shift their focus from negative to positive can experience profound changes. For instance, a business leader who once concentrated on avoiding market risks might share how they decided to focus on innovation, leading to breakthroughs and success. The journey from a mindset fixated on avoiding failure to one that embraces the possibility of success is transformative. It involves recognizing that failure is not an obstacle but a stepping stone to learning and growth. This shift in perspective can open up new avenues for achievement and fulfillment. Just as in business, in our personal lives, where we direct our focus has a significant impact. If we dwell on our fears and limitations, we limit our potential. By focusing on our strengths and possibilities, we can unlock new opportunities for growth and success. Real-life stories can serve as powerful illustrations of this shift. For example, a story about an entrepreneur who overcame repeated failures by focusing on their vision rather than their setbacks can inspire others to adopt a similar focus. When individuals in a business setting share their stories of positive focus and success, it can create a ripple effect, encouraging others to shift their focus as well. This collective shift can transform the culture of an organization, leading to greater innovation, collaboration, and success. Personal anecdotes about the power of focus underscore the quantum principle that our attention shapes our reality. By sharing and learning from these stories, we can encourage a powerful shift in focus that leads to positive outcomes in both business and personal contexts. The accept and redirect method. The accept and redirect method is a two-step process that involves acknowledging the current state of affairs, acceptance, and then consciously choosing to focus your attention on the desired outcome, redirection. Acceptance is about seeing things as they are, without denial or distortion. In business, this means acknowledging the current market conditions, the state of your company, or the feedback from your team. It's about facing reality head-on, which is the first step towards making meaningful change. Once acceptance is established, the next step is redirection. This involves shifting your focus from what is to what could be. In business, this might mean redirecting resources to more promising ventures, shifting marketing strategies to align with consumer trends, or pivoting from outdated practices to innovative processes. Consider a company facing declining sales. Acceptance would involve recognizing the decline without blame or excuses. Redirection would then entail focusing on strategies to revitalize sales, such as introducing new products, entering new markets, or enhancing customer service. Leaders are pivotal in the accept and redirect process. They must first accept the reality that their team or company faces and then guide the redirection of focus towards new goals and strategies. Their ability to navigate this process can determine the success of the transition. Resistance often stems from a refusal to accept reality. By accepting the current state, resistance is diminished and energy can be redirected towards productive change. This is crucial in business, where clinging to the status quo can be detrimental. The accept and redirect method is a practical application of quantum principles in business. It embodies the idea that while we may not control every aspect of our reality, we can always choose where to direct our focus and energy. This method can lead to more effective decision-making and positive outcomes. Quantum principles in real business situations. In this chapter, we discuss the application of quantum thinking and the accept and redirect method to real business situations, demonstrating how these concepts can be used to solve problems, seize opportunities, and drive innovation. Quantum thinking encourages us to look at problems from multiple perspectives, considering all possible states and outcomes before making a decision. This approach can lead to more creative and effective solutions. For example, a business facing a supply chain disruption might use quantum thinking to explore all potential solutions simultaneously before choosing the most viable one. Businesses can use quantum principles to identify and seize opportunities in seemingly chaotic markets. By understanding that multiple realities are possible, leaders can position their companies to take advantage of emerging trends and shifts in consumer behavior. The concept of superposition can inspire businesses to pursue multiple avenues of innovation at once, not being limited to a single path. This can lead to the discovery of new products, services, or business models that might have been overlooked with a more linear approach. Real-life case studies can illustrate how businesses have applied quantum principles to achieve success. These stories can range from small startups that have pivoted to meet new market demands to large corporations that have reinvented themselves by embracing quantum strategies. Quantum principles and the accept and redirect method offer a powerful toolkit for businesses to navigate the modern landscape. By embracing these concepts, businesses can become more adaptable, resilient, and forward-thinking. Quantum culture in organizations. This chapter explores how the principles of quantum physics can influence the culture of an organization, shaping its approach to leadership, decision-making, and innovation. A quantum culture in an organization is one that embraces the principles of possibility, potentiality, and interconnectedness. It's a culture that values diverse perspectives and sees challenges as opportunities for growth and transformation. Leaders in a quantum culture are those who understand the power of their attention and focus. They lead not by dictating what should happen, but by inspiring their teams to see the range of possibilities and to navigate towards the best outcomes. Decision-making in a quantum culture is not linear but rather holistic. It involves considering all possible outcomes and how they are interconnected. Decisions are made with an awareness of the broader impact they may have on the organization and its environment. Innovation in a quantum culture is driven by the principle of superposition, where multiple ideas and strategies are explored simultaneously. This approach encourages a more dynamic and agile response to change and fosters a continuous evolution of products, services, and processes. The collective mindset in a quantum culture is one that is open, flexible, and adaptive. It's a mindset that thrives on change and sees the organization not as a static entity but as a living system that is always evolving. Adopting a quantum culture can lead organizations to become more resilient, innovative, and successful. It's about creating an environment where the principles of quantum physics are used to foster a more profound and effective way of operating in the business world. Quantum strategy and execution. This chapter examines how the nuanced understanding of quantum principles can be applied to the strategic planning and execution process in a business setting, influencing how goals are set and achieved. Quantum strategy involves recognizing that there are multiple potential futures and that by focusing on the desired outcome, a business can influence which future becomes reality. This approach to planning is less about rigidly following a set path and more about being open to various possibilities and ready to pivot as needed. Goals in a quantum strategy framework are set with the understanding that they are not fixed points but rather possibilities within a field of potential. This means that while specific targets are important, there is also flexibility to adapt goals as new information and opportunities arise. Execution in a quantum-influenced business is characterized by flexibility and adaptability. It's about making decisions in the moment that align with the overall vision, while also being open to course corrections and new insights. Success in a quantum strategy is not only measured by traditional metrics but also by the ability to remain adaptable and responsive to change. It's about the journey as much as the destination, and the learning that occurs along the way. A quantum strategy is iterative, with a constant feedback loop that informs decision-making. This loop involves observing outcomes, learning from them, and then adjusting the approach accordingly. It's a dynamic process that fosters continuous improvement. Integrating quantum principles into strategic planning and execution can lead to a more dynamic and successful business. It allows for a more nuanced approach to achieving goals and responding to the ever-changing business landscape. Quantum principles in team dynamics and performance. This chapter delves into how the concepts of quantum physics can be translated into the management of teams and the enhancement of individual performance, fostering an environment where collaboration and innovation thrive. Quantum entanglement suggests that particles can be connected in such a way that the state of one instantly influences the state of another, no matter the distance between them. In a team setting, this translates to the idea that team members are deeply interconnected. Their attitudes, knowledge, and behaviors can have a profound impact on one another, which can be leveraged to enhance performance and collaboration. Just as particles can exist in multiple states at once, team members can embody multiple roles and skills. Encouraging a culture where individuals are not confined to a single job description but are instead empowered to contribute in various capacities can lead to a more versatile and resilient team. The observer effect in quantum physics posits that the mere observation of a phenomenon inevitably changes that phenomenon. In a business context, this underscores the importance of how leadership observes and interacts with team members. Positive reinforcement and constructive feedback can alter team dynamics and individual performance for the better. Decoherence occurs when a quantum system interacts with its environment in a way that causes it to lose its quantum behavior. In teams, this can be seen when external pressures or misalignments cause a team to lose focus or unity. Maintaining a clear vision and open communication can help prevent decoherence and keep the team aligned with organizational goals. The role of consciousness in quantum theory is still a subject of debate, but its application in team dynamics is clear. A team with a high level of collective consciousness, where members are aware of and responsive to each other's needs and the team's objectives, is more likely to succeed. Applying quantum principles to team dynamics and individual performance can lead to a more interconnected and responsive organizational environment. It encourages a holistic approach to team management that can result in higher levels of engagement, innovation, and performance. The future of quantum business. This chapter speculates on the potential future impact of quantum principles on business, considering how these ideas might continue to evolve and influence the way we think about leadership, strategy, and organizational development. As our understanding of quantum physics deepens, so too might our ability to apply its principles in a business context. We can anticipate shifts in how businesses operate, moving away from linear, cause-and-effect strategies to more holistic, interconnected approaches. The advent of quantum computing promises to revolutionize many aspects of business, including decision-making. With its ability to process vast amounts of data and consider nearly infinite variables, quantum computing could enable businesses to make more informed and nuanced decisions. The concept of quantum leadership is emerging as a new paradigm. Quantum leaders are those who understand the complex, interconnected nature of the business world and can guide their organizations through it with agility and foresight. As businesses adopt quantum approaches, questions of ethics and corporate responsibility become more complex. Quantum ethics will likely involve considering the wider implications of business decisions on society and the environment, recognizing the interconnectedness of all things. Businesses and leaders can prepare for a quantum future by fostering a culture of learning and adaptability. This involves staying abreast of scientific developments, being open to new ways of thinking, and cultivating a workforce that is skilled in both technology and critical thinking. The future of quantum business is one of potential and possibility. By embracing the principles of quantum physics, businesses can position themselves to be more innovative, ethical, and successful in a rapidly changing world.